Hi dear students, welcome back to your chemistry class. Today I'm here with a new topic and somehow interesting one. It is called Redox. What does Redox mean? Redox itself is made of two parts. RED stands for reduction and OX stands for oxidation. So redox reactions means reduction and oxidation reactions. So here are 2 points. At first, they are the most important part of chemical reactions. So remember that. And they happen at the same time. It means in a reaction at the same time, we have reduction and oxidation. So that's why they merge these two words together and call that redox. So now let's start with the oxidation. Here are about 4 definitions for oxidation. The first 2 are somehow the old definitions, and then we are going to the last one. The first, reaction of element with oxygen. So, if an element reacts with oxygen or we install oxygen on elements, that is called oxidation. For example, sodium reacts with oxygen, so now here sodium is oxidized. Why? Because we installed oxygen on sodium. Vice versa, removing oxygen from a compound is called reduction. So here we have water and we remove oxygen from the water, so the hydrogen is reduced. Hydrogen is reduced. So when we remove oxygen, that is a reduction, and when we install an oxygen on elements, that is called oxidation. The second definition is removing hydrogen from compound. So when we remove hydrogen like this, HCl, we remove the hydrogen, Cl here is oxidized, because we remove the hydrogen from Cl. And vice versa. When we install the hydrogen on elements, or the elements react with hydrogen, those elements are actually reduced. Now, when hydrogen reacts with chlorine, the chlorine itself here is reduced. Let's go to the third one. Raise of charge. When the charge increase in an element, or there is a reaction, and that reaction, the charge of an element increase. For example, from negative charge to positive to 0, and then from 0 to positive, that is called oxidation. For example, let's go to this part. There is one example for that. Decline of charge is called reduction. So when the charge decreases from positive to 0 and 0 to negative, that is called reduction. So here we have an example. Sodium reacts with bromine, and we have here sodium bromide. So what happened? The charge of sodium here, it is 0, and when it reacts with bromine, the charge is positive 1. So the charge is increased from 0 to positive. Now sodium is oxidized. Here the charge of bromine is 0 and it is decreased to negative 1. So from 0 to negative 1, it is declined. So we call that bromine is reduced, or the reduction happened here. So as we said, they happen at the same time. Here, one part is oxidized and the other part is reduced. There is another point. We have reduction agent and oxidation agent. What does these two words mean? When an element is oxidized, so it causes that the other element reduce. For example, when sodium is oxidized, This sodium causes the bromine to reduce. So sodium is oxidized, and at the same time it is reduction agent, because sodium is the reason that bromine is reduced. And the same for bromine. When bromine is reduced, it is an oxidation agent. Here, bromine is the reason that sodium is oxidized. So bromine is an oxidation agent. So totally, we can say in a reaction, oxidation and reduction happen at the same time. One of the elements is oxidized and the other one is reduced. That one which is oxidized causes the other element reduces. So this is an oxidation agent. And the other one which is reduced, it is an oxidation agent. The first one, reduction agent. The second one is oxidation agent. So let's go to the last and the perfect definition of oxidation, which is losing or giving electrons by elements. So it says that when an element gives an electron to another element, that element is oxidized. And vice versa, receiving electron by elements is called reduction. So here is an example. For the same example again, sodium has one electron at its last shell, and bromine needs it has 7 and needs one more. So sodium gives its last electron to bromine. So sodium give electron. Because it gave electrons, it is oxidized. Oxidation happened for sodium. And bromine receive electron. So because it receive electrons, reduction happened. It is reduced. Here, how do we write it in chemical equation? Sodium at first in the reaction, and again the same reaction, sodium is 0 and changed to the positive 1. So what happened? At first, sodium is 0 and it loses 1 electrons. We write -1 and it changed to positive 1. But actually in chemistry we cannot write it like this. We don't have negative sign actually in equations. So that's why we can write it like this. Sodium at first it is 0 and then it loses 1 electron and it becomes positive 1. On the other side, bromine, it is 0 and it receives 1 electron and it becomes -1. And there may be sometimes you confuse why. This one receives electron, so why it is called reduction, reduce. And this one loses electron is called oxidation. Remember, they receive negative charge. Even though there is a rise in the charge, the number of the charge, but they receive an electron. So electron has negative charge, that's why the charge is reduced. So reduction, we say decline of charge, and raise of charge, oxidation. So that was all for today. If you have any question, you can comment down below, and for more videos, subscribe our channel. Have a nice day. Goodbye.